Sean and Joe, another episode ready to go. They're gonna talk about the good and the trash and anything in between. Cherishing make-believe, get ready for Halloween. It's the horror show. I know you missed those guys. Tune in and find out what's on their list tonight. They butcher and dissect, take apart and mutilate. Listen to your two favorite brainiacs communicate. It's the horror show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Horror Show. Show dissects, mutilates, dismembers, and butchers all of your favorite and not so favorite horror movies and other horror-related events. I'm Sean.
I'm Joe.
How you doing, Joe?
Doing good, man. This episode's sponsored by White Claw Surge.
The claws, baby. I was surprised to see they're putting the surges in like a, what is that, a 12-pack you got?
It is.
Boy, I was surprised to see that. It seems like one of those things that they should probably just keep at 8%. I mean, don't give people 12 of those. They don't need that. That's a problem.
They work. Let me tell you.
We did a great Patreon episode. Oh, I fucking forgot. I wanted to talk to you about Donda and fucking Certified Lover Boy on that. We'll do it next week. Very, very timely. Fucking
topical. I like
topical. 2 weeks later. But we did talk about Earth Girls Are Easy because we're highlighting Damon Wayans movies. And then we talked about, God damn it. We were talking about everything. So, Spider-Man. A lot of Spider-Man. A lot of Spider-Man chat. But hey, we've got something more important to talk about today.
We do.
Fucking Jennifer.
Classic.
1978. Excuse me, everyone. I'm sick. I'm sorry. I'll try to edit that out. Jennifer, 1978. Jennifer, let me just pull up some letterboxed, I like watching movies we've never done before, and there's always movies that you're just like, boy, I really wish to see that. It's got an average rating on Letterboxd of 3.1, which is
really,
which is pretty high. The people that I follow, because it's popular reviews, 4 stars, 5 stars, 4 stars.
Wow.
Do
you agree?
No. I don't think it's bad. I actually kind of like it.
So it's so weird because, well, first off, I'm surprised that you liked it. Moderate Chaos was asking me what movie we were doing this week. And I was like, we're doing Jennifer 1978. And I was like, I fully anticipate Sunday morning Sean being like, we have to audible right now because you don't like 70s movies. And not only is this a 70s movie, it's like very grainy and absolutely nothing happens. And it's weird because nothing exciting happens until like the hour mark, right? It's mostly just like a high school drama and just people being jerks. But I also kind of liked it. I don't know why. I fucking kind of liked it.
I don't know. It kind of moved. Like there was shit happening. Like, nothing happens, you're right. But, like, at the same time, there's just, like, a bunch of, like, goofball shit going on. And you're kind of invested in this whole...
You are. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Like, you get invested in the character and how she's gonna...
Yeah, like, and what this whole snake shit is about.
Okay, well, listen. You pitched this movie to me when you're like, we gotta do Jennifer. And like, it's like Carrie, but she controls snakes. I mean... She does. I guess that's technically not a lie. But it doesn't happen until literally the last 3 minutes of the movie.
Dude, you're not even sure, like, what her power is with the fucking snakes. Like, until the end, you're just kind of, like, hinting at it, and, like, the father's just constantly...
The father's just screaming in her face about how God wants her to control the snakes, and she's always like, nah, after the accident, and he always has 2 snakes in his hand at all times.
Oh, constantly.
It's like
constantly
just throttling them.
Constantly swinging snakes around in this fucking movie.
I mean, that guy owns a pet shop. The father owns a pet shop.
Which, by the way...
Nobody should own a business less than that guy.
3/4 through the movie was wrapping up, and I realized something really bizarre about this movie that doesn't make sense, and maybe somebody can explain it. And for the first time, guys, if you can explain why this is, then please do, because it doesn't make sense to me. Because so we are told, and I have some other stuff before we get into the movie, but just quick overview. Jennifer is from West Virginia, and you know this because they can't stop fucking talking about it. And in the beginning of the movie, the girls that tease Jennifer are like, "Have you ever heard of somebody being from West Virginia?" And they explain that she was like a welfare case for this private school that they're at, where the movie takes place. And you're like, "Oh, okay." But her and her dad live in town.
Right.
So how the fuck is she from West Virginia? And how are they like, well, like, I thought she was like flown in from West Virginia.
No, they moved there, and it's because, like, they moved there after she killed everybody with the snake.
Oh shit. Wait, that's the fucking plot?
Yeah.
She killed everybody?
Because remember she had those flashbacks, which she was noticeably younger then, but they had to leave the town because the people died because she was controlling the snakes.
Oh, dude, I thought they died. Anyway, well, we'll get into it in a minute. But I thought never mind. I thought they died because everyone was sticking their hand in the snake bucket. Because, like, the dad was, like, making people stick their hands in snake buckets. And, like, kids were getting fucking killed.
I mean, to be honest, that's probably what happened. He just blamed it on Jennifer.
Okay.
But, no, the flashbacks, they show that she controlled them. It was, like, an accident.
Oh. Well, that's fucking weird.
Because she refused to... because she refused to handle the snakes, and that's why the dad was always screaming at her, being like, you have to do it again.
Which, by the way, you're saying the dad screamed at her. I'm going to say this. This dad, like... So this is very similar to Carrie.
It killed the preacher's son. That's what happened. That's why they had to leave.
Oh, yeah.
It killed the preacher's son. And, dude, it's similar to Carrie. This fucking is Carrie. The dad is Piper Laurie's character.
So, but here's the thing. It's like Carrie, but if you turn the volume down like 50%. Because, like, even the dad is, like, nowhere near... Like, Piper Laurie's, like, scary, right? Like, that portrayal is fucking terrifying. And this guy's just kind of like, I wish you weren't such a jerk, Carrie. Or, Jennifer. It's, like, it's so tempered down that it was actually... I think that's why I like it.
I think it has to do with acting skills. Like, that guy's not an actor. Piper Laurie can act.
Piper Laurie can act. The girl that plays Jennifer, Lisa Pelican, she can also act. I thought she was pretty good.
Pretty good.
She actually played Rebecca in Ghoulies.
Yep.
She was in Lionheart with JCVD.
She did. She's the nephew's mom.
Yeah, and then she also was in the Return to Blue Lagoon, which is a fucking sequel to that Brooke Shields movie that we talk about.
The fact that they made a sequel, yeah. Nobody hates Blue Lagoon more than Tina. Let me tell you that.
Oh, I'm with her. I'm fucking with her.
I am too, dude. Grown men going to see that in theaters
should be killed.
Fucking ashamed of them. Yeah, dude, I agree. I completely agree. Because you knew what the plot was. There's no reason to go see that movie.
No. And then the fact that they made Return to Blue Lagoon with, like, more fucking teenagers. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, everyone should have been arrested. They should have worried about Pee Wee Herman jerking off in a fucking skin flick theater. Arrest everyone that came out of Blue Lagoon.
I am on board, man. I'm on board.
So she was in that. She did like a ton of TV movies, tons of episodes on TV, even through the early 2000s. She married now. I just did a deep dive on her. And by the way, actually, to be fair, all the other actors on this have decent resumes. Like, they were all workers. They were all...
Except for the bully.
The bully, yeah.
Which is surprising, because she was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, she was not bad. Jeff Corey was even in this, and he ended up being blacklisted in the Yeah, and he was blacklisted in the 1950s. Remember that shit? When people...
The Red Scare, right?
Communists.
Yeah.
Dude, and he taught acting to, like, some of the biggest actors in the world. Wait, I gotta pull up the list. It was insane. It was like Jack Nicholson. It was insane. Do they have a list of who he fucking taught? I swear I saw it at some point. I was looking at it. It was fucking crazy. But his students were Robert Blake, James Coburn, James Dean, Jane Fonda, Peter Fonda, Bruce Lee, Penny Marshall, Jack Nicholson, Roger Corman, Sharon Tate, Leonard Nimoy, Anthony Perkins, Rob Reiner, Barbara Streisand, and Robin Williams. Motherfucker. And then in the 50s, they were like, hey, you might be a fucking communist. And it was, I'm pretty sure, don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure it was just because he was like, they called him up and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And they're like, see? Only a communist would say that.
That was the case for all of them.
Yeah. They like had no actual evidence, but like the evidence was that they denied it. And they were like,
what a fucking time.
What if we, honestly, fucking nuts.
I mean, listen, I'm guilty of this. Like, I always think to myself, like, we're so like divided on shit. Like, everything's always an argument. You can't say one thing without somebody else getting offended or disagreeing with you, right? But like, can you imagine living during a time where people you like enjoyed watching on TV were just being blacklisted because somebody thought they were a communist? Like, that's a fucking headache. What a nightmare.
And like, think about how competitive Hollywood is, and how like it's so competitive. Why wouldn't somebody going for the same role as you just be like, hey, bro, I heard this guy's a communist?
Exactly, right?
Like, this guy was a game show host. Like, there was probably 100 people that were like, dude, if we get him out of here, one of us gets the job. Oh my goodness.
So you mentioned this is a Carrie.
Yes.
This is just like Carrie, a Carrie knockoff. Came out, what, 8 years after, or 4 years after Carrie?
Yes.
How do you compare it to Carrie?
So listen, guys. It's a lot like my Jaws take, all right? I'm not the biggest Carrie fan. Carrie's intense, and it's a great movie. I'm not taking anything away from Carrie. But it's like a little too much for me. It's a little too fucking much for me. I prefer the toned down Jennifer over Carrie. If you,
my question's why, but I know you just answered it because it's toned down. I mean,
I just
don't understand.
I just like, all right, maybe I'll rewatch Carrie. I won't though, because like I just don't find anything fun about Carrie. It like breaks my heart. It's like and like part of it is Sissy Spacek's face. It just like it's just like all very upsetting to me. And I just had a better time watching Jennifer, and I'm on board with Jennifer. I'm with you. I stand with
very mind blowing to me. Just knowing your hate for 70s. This is like the most 70s movie we've watched. This almost felt like it was like a 70s after TV special.
It did.
And again, I kind of liked it, but like the way it was filmed was of a 70s after school special.
For sure. It looks like a TV movie.
So why? Why do you prefer this?
Because she fucking controls snakes, baby.
But yeah, I mean...
Yo,
fine. You know what? Honestly, fine.
The giant snake puppet at the end.
The giant snake at the end was pretty fucking awesome. Because I know this is a spoiler alert, and we're gonna talk about it in depth, and I hate when I do that, but like I have to say right now, I was just under the assumption that she would like summon snakes that would just like bite people or like torment people.
Yeah.
But she somehow manifested a fucking giant like anaconda snake from the movie Anaconda that would just eat people in like one gulp, and it all happens in the last 3 minutes, and it's so like abrupt.
Legit anaconda shows up,
and they're not in the jungle or like in the woods. They're at like a drive-in.
Okay,
they're in their car.
Let's just talk about it now because I'm crying laughing. The end. They end up in a parking garage, and I was like, oh, this is going to be tricky because Jennifer can't manifest. There's no way Jennifer can manifest snakes in a fucking parking garage to a disco, because we've seen this scene. We've seen this area before. It's the parking garage that they go to go to the local disco. And I was like, well, that's going to be impossible to get snakes at. And sure enough, snakes just start pouring into the fucking parking garage, including a giant fucking anaconda, which just randomly appears.
Dude, and they give you like did you notice they give you a POV from like inside his mouth for a few seconds?
Yes. Yes. Oh my god. Anyway, so I'm all about that. And yeah, you know, I'm not the biggest 70s fan. I'm not. And there are moments, I forget what I wrote about it, but there are moments where the screen is so fucking... Oh, this is what I was going to say. The screen is so dark in some of these scenes, like, well, in most of them, that you actually don't know whether it's day or night. For a lot of it. It's so poorly lit, and you're inside buildings, and you're just like, wait, is this the next day? Is this that night? Is this when where are we, and when is this? But
yeah.
Yeah. Lisa Pelican, the lead of Jennifer, she married Robert Harper, who he was the student in the creep show The Crate that gets killed.
Oh, okay.
She married him, got a divorce, and then married Bruce Davidson from fucking Willard.
Wow.
Snakes and rats, baby. That guy would then go on to become that disgusting long-faced senator in the X-Men that like turns into Mitch McConnell and walks out of the ocean. Incredible melting man. That was fucking disgusting.
Speaking of Willard, we still get like
yeah,
people want us to do Willard.
Well, that was why that's why I liked that note, because I was like, this movie gave me some Willard vibes. But we're doing the Willard in the 2000s, right? Or the 90s? Was that in the 2000s or the 90s?
The one with Crispin Glover.
Yeah, it had to be that fucking.
I think it might have been 2000.
That's nuts. 2003. Jesus Christ! And people were like, you know who we need to star in this? Crispin Glover. That'll draw.
I thought we were doing the original, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, I think it is the original, because we always talked about doing Ben also, which that it was not. There was not a 2004 Ben. No. So, yeah, no, we got to do the original. So, I don't know.
You know you're going to be miserable. It's going to be such a mistake.
The 70s, like, and this is like I guess my problem with the 70s movies is they're usually fucking really slow. I don't know. Like, Jennifer wasn't that slow to me.
Which is weird, because not a whole ton happened.
No, but it's not. I don't know what it is about it. Like, I don't know. Like,
I'm in agreement. Again, I'm in agreement because I'm just surprised you liked it. But like, not a lot happens until nothing. No deaths happen until the very end. It's literally the last 3 minutes.
When this came out, the New York Times did a review for it. And basically, there's how they summed it up, and this was an actual quote from it, was, "It could be a lot worse," which might be the funniest review of all time. Like, man, it could be way worse than this, but it's not that bad.
That is true.
We can kick this episode off now with this movie, where we meet Jennifer and her dad living in a fucking pet store. And the movie starts out with this song that sounds like a Cannibal Holocaust song. And I was like, ooh. But then it gets into the words. Well, should we play it right now? I have it queued up.
I'll do it.
Yeah, okay. Because this song is like, at first you're like, okay, this is set in a weird 70s horror vibe. And then the words kick in and it's like, Jennifer. Which I don't know if it was written for this movie or not. But let's take a listen to Jennifer. Like, that's Cannibal Holocaust vibes right there. Can you hear it?
In the shadow of the city lights, speaking softly to the night, the dream unfolds like faded photographs. In the pictures of the past, your story's told. And do you see the country girl who ran with me through the pouring rain. Do you often wish that we could have those simple days back again?
The backup vocals. So that's your opening theme to it. So it did give a vibe, a very like 70s TV movie vibe, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, how many horror movies get their own theme song? You know, we know what, Mutilator. That's pretty much it.
And Ben. Doesn't Ben by
Ben has Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Yeah, and we meet Jennifer. She's from the South. She's got a controlling dad, but like again, like I said, like way more tempered down than Carrie. And even like the girls that we meet two groups of girls at Jennifer's school at the jump. We meet a group of like athlete girls who you think are going to be problems, but they're like, "Hey Jennifer, how you doing?" And they like walk away. And Jennifer's like, "Great, thank you." And then we meet like the cool teen girl squad, the cool girls, the pretty girl squad, led by Sandra. And now those are the villains.
Sandra is like the villain of villains. Sandra, that actress, like I said, I was surprised that she didn't have extensive work because she played that role so perfectly.
She was great, and her character though escalates like pretty severely, like an hour into the movie. At the beginning, I was
she's trying to drown her at one point.
But like at the beginning, it's just like like making fun of her and like teasing her, and I was like, oh, this is so super toned down. And then it jumps to drowning her and then fucking killing her own cat to pin it on fucking Jennifer
in the locker. Yeah,
fucking nuts.
Insanity. She's psychotic. She's also the son of a senator. She's super rich.
Yeah, she's the son of the senator.
Fucking hates poor people.
She hates poor people. Dude, this also, one of the weirder things in this was, I was trying to figure out how old they were. It turns out they're supposed to be fucking high schoolers.
Yeah, high school.
Which is bizarre because there's a scene where they talk about fucking adult actors that like they name names. Which if I were an actor, I'd be like, if you fucking release this movie, I'll fucking kill you. You fucking kidding me right now? Warren Beatty is one. They talk about Warren Beatty's dick size. Never seen anything like that in a fucking movie in my life. High schoolers talking about fucking Warren Beatty. Oh my god. We also meet a few teachers here. Some of them are Team Jennifer, which again, like that was like it made it a little easier on you than Carrie, where like it felt like Carrie. It was like just Carrie against everyone.
I mean, the gym teacher was for Carrie.
That's true. It just seemed like there were more people for Carrie in this one, or for Jennifer in this one, and like genuinely like speaking up on her behalf and being like, "Hey,
I mean,
fuck Sandra."
That one teacher, that one teacher knew what was up.
The science teacher which also Sandra wanted to fuck. It was fucking bizarre. And also fucking Sandra's dad yells at her and is like, "I'm sick of you like fucking your teacher." And getting kicked out of school. Fucking nightmare. Oh my god. But we also have a fucking Dean Warmer in this, who is the head of this private girls' school. And she is teams. She's sorry guys, I'm sick, so there's probably gonna be some weird edits. she's not team Sandra, but she's
she's team rich people.
There you go. And she's
because the science teacher's like, the science teacher is always like, hey, I saw everything that happened. And then the dean's like, go fuck yourself. Like, you need to know who pays the bills here.
Right.
He's like, so basically poor people, he even like says that at one point, he's like, basically poor people don't matter. And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm not clouding that. I'm not trying to make this hard for you. I'm telling you exactly that.
That's pretty much exactly what she says. I kind of like that, because usually people just beat around the bush, and this lady just like, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, those are the exact words that came out of my mouth. Yes, that's exactly what I'm fucking saying. Fucking idiot. Meanwhile, Sandra's at home taking care of a sick kitten. We're seeing her softer side, and her dad, who's like 10% of Carrie's mom. Like, he's upset that, like, the cooking, like, he gets upset that she, like, didn't cook it. It was such a bizarre scene, because he's like, I hate red meat. Dude, this guy's a mope. This guy is a certified fucking mope.
This guy is a mope.
This guy's a mope. He's like, the meat was undercooked. And she's like, sorry. And he's like, I don't even like meat. Nothing was going to be okay for this fucking guy. Fucking idiot. And then we do get a little bit of that Carrie territory with the Bible talk here. And he says he had a vision. Beware the mask of beauty, which is Sandra. They're talking about Sandra. And because at this point, for some reason, Jennifer's like, I want to be Sandra's friend because she's pretty and people like her.
Which almost nobody likes her. even her friend turns on her pretty quickly.
Like, it's pretty clear in this movie that everyone is just around Sandra because she, like, it's the safe thing to do.
Right.
It's a psychopath. You want to be on their side.
Right.
And then this guy's monologues are just fucking brutal. And like talking about dragons and serpent people, listen, I'm not trying to ruffle your feathers here, Joe. I know how you feel about serpent people. Fucking, what are they called? Reptilians? Reptilians. I'm not trying to shit on reptilians here, but he's also claiming that in the Bible, which I don't think is true, that like he's like Jennifer, in the Bible they say that we are serpent people. She's like, oh, okay. and then it's revealed that the dad made her stick her hand in this box of snakes. And she's like, yeah, she's like, you made me do that. He's like, remember when you got your powers? And she's like, I remember you made me do that. And he was like, no. God, it was God. It was God.
I love that she's like, she literally has a Spider-Man origin story.
Yeah, she does. She fucking does. And it's weird because at the beginning, it's kind of setting her up as a non-believer in her dad's thing. But then like later, just a switch flips, and even in class, she's like, like the guy's like, yeah, some people believe snakes hold powers, but obviously that's not true. And Jennifer's like, oh yeah, I could prove you wrong. And he's like, okay. It's insane. Sandra and Jennifer confront each other in the weirdest confrontation of all time because Jennifer has done nothing. And we should mention Sandra cheated on a test and then tried to blame Sandra, but
she got caught immediately. The teacher, the paper was on top of the test.
Right. And she's like, this
classic move.
Right. And she's like, this is all Jennifer's fault. And like, it obviously wasn't. So Sandra gets in trouble. The senator comes in, yells at her. They have like a very weird romantic chemistry, even though they're father and daughter. And then he bounces and he's just like, you fucking get your shit. Cause even the dad was against fucking Sandra.
Yeah. Cause Sandra's like, cause he brings up the other school that she got kicked out. And Sandra's like, yeah, but remember it was because of this guy, and he was just like, go fuck yourself. He's like, everyone knows that's bullshit.
Dude, that was actually like such a relief to me because
Dude,
like,
I agree, because usually everybody, automatically believes their kids in these movies.
Yeah.
And the senator is just like, you're so fucking full of shit. Like, everyone knows you're full of shit. Like, cut it out.
He is so rude. He is like Alec Baldwin level dad. He's just like, you are a rude little pig. You little piece of shit. And she's like, oh, daddy. And he's like, I can't fucking stand you. And if you do this again, I'm fucking sending you to your mother. Oh my God. And so that was a relief. But now she's like even more mad at Jennifer. But like, why? Like, why? Jennifer had nothing to do with it. And that was the weird confrontation they have, is because they confront each other and Jennifer's like, hey, I didn't do anything. Like, you didn't even cheat off of me. And Sandra's just like, you piece of shit. that's the fucking end. Like, Sandra's just like, I fucking hate you, Jennifer. It was so bizarre. And this leads to them torturing her, which is probably not the best word. They like put eggs on her books and they throw her a jacket.
I mean, they pretty much torture her.
They throw her
that
a jacket.
Would break anybody.
They throw her jacket into a pool. Like, listen, man, I got bullied. Like, it was, it was worse than that.
Dude, throwing a jacket, honestly, that might be my breaking point. Like, that's so minimal. It honestly pissed me off so fucking badly. Like, I'd rather you just punch me in the face, throw my jacket in the pool, and fucking dry it off before I wear it.
That's true. And then one of the better scenes, they're like, Sandra's like, I've come up with a brilliant plan. And her big plan is because, oh, by the way.
Wait, when they're serving soup?
Yes. Which, why is Jennifer the only one that appears to be like an indentured servant to the school? And
because she's poor.
So she's also first to work. They're like, don't worry, this is a welfare program. We give somebody a scholarship to be here. And then it's like, but you have to work it off.
They make her do everything. Yeah, exactly. She serves the food and she's like a janitor.
Oh my God. Fucking worse than the NCAA. Fucking bullshit. Like, fucking nuts. So Jennifer is also the help at the school. Like, she works in the kitchen. And Sandra's big plan is, while Jennifer's serving soup, she's just gonna put her hand under the soup ladle and get burned. Not very elaborate at all. And of course, Sandra starts screaming that her hand's burned, and everyone's like, Jennifer's a fucking piece of shit. And the teachers are upset until that one science teacher was like, dude, I fucking saw it. It's fine. Look at her.
Standing right there, watch the whole thing.
And he's like, it was not. She put her fucking hand under the soup. And like, they look
honestly, in this regard, it's the most satisfying movie because like, scenes like that often frustrate me.
Yes.
Like, I feel for the characters when they're doing nothing wrong and like nobody believes them. Like, it bothers me.
Me too.
And having this guy just be like, he's just always in the corner because they're being chaperoned like most of these movies should be. He's always just watching and be like, I saw everything that happened.
It's true. That must be our anxiety because I have the same issue when it's so fucking frustrating when it's like somebody's being treated unfairly, no one sees it, or it's like fake or accusations, and it's just like so frustrating. And like you said, and maybe that's why I like it more than Carrie too, is literally every time they try to like frame her for something, because somebody is like, yeah, no, that didn't fucking happen. And the dean's like, fucking fine. It's so amazing. It's really fucking great. Like,
yeah.
That teacher even like goes so far as to be like, let me see your fucking hand, and like looks at the girl's hand and is like, yeah, it looks real bad.
Dude, yeah, his exact words are like, this is nothing to cry over.
Lukewarm soup on your fucking hand. Oh my God. That teacher's name is Jeff. And he's always standing up for Jennifer. And like you said, very anti-rich people. He doesn't go with the school.
Well, he's there kind of like Jennifer on a welfare program. They like let him in.
Yeah, that's true.
Scholarship. He's not like a certified teacher yet, but he's earning it while being there.
This movie does include one of my favorite tropes, which is when you put a group of females in a room together. They are just the horniest women in the world and run around naked and like talk about dudes being hung like hamsters and reading like hunky boy magazines in their bedroom. Seems like this would not happen at a private boarding school, but hey, what the fuck do I know? Seems like it wouldn't happen anywhere, but you know. Oh boy. Well, the girls, we meet their beau hunks, their dates, who, boy, really unnecessary characters, and
except for Sandra's.
Right, but like that's the most insane thing that ever. I could not believe that happened in this fucking movie.
Which part? The picture scene or the rape scene?
The fucking rape scene, Joe.
They're both pretty insane.
What's the picture scene? Wait, what's... Oh, the picture scene is nuts. The picture scene is nuts too, actually. You're right. I know what you're talking about.
That's very much sexual assault, right?
Oh, it's fucking madness. It's actually fucking crazy now that you said, oh my God, that guy should be fucking murdered. Oh my God.
I agree.
Him and Sandra, man.
Somehow he's the most evil character in the movie.
Yeah.
He's only in like 4 scenes.
And the 2 of them are the worst things that have ever been filmed.
Correct.
And it's like, oh my God. These 2 this is the prequel to Natural Born Killers. These are the fucking Woody Harrelson and what's her name?
Juliette Lewis.
Nuts. So them and their boyfriends, they all go to a disco, which, real talk, is disco too heavily criticized?
Oh, I've been saying that for years. Disco fucking rules.
There's no... I thought about this recently, and I was like, what's the fucking problem with disco? Like, what is... It was just pop music for the time, right?
You like funk? It's just more danceable funk. What's the problem?
Dude, like, pop music changes always, right? Like, it's always adjusting to that era, and it was just fucking pop funk.
Yeah, that was like the... honestly, the stigma is because... It was like the social media before social media.
Right.
One radio DJ was like, disco sucks, and then held like a disco sucks rally. And it just caught on like wildfire.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not that bad. And speaking of not that bad, as you know, I don't particularly like the 70s, but this disco party seems fucking killer. People are on so many drugs, they like forget how to dance and move. Like they dance and move like crazy people in the 70s.
I would be all about it.
Dude, I would too.
Did you ever watch Freaks and Geeks?
No, I've never seen it.
What's his name? Jason Segel? Is that his name?
Yeah.
He's like a hard rocker, and he hangs out with the hard rock groups. And they find out he's been secretly going to disco parties.
Oh my God.
Like doing dance-offs and stuff.
That's what I would be.
That would 100% be me. Yeah, that would 100% be me.
Dude, it would definitely be you for sure. Like, I think we both live that style of like, because when people see us when we've gone out and there's like pop music playing, I think people are always like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Because you and me are screaming the words and dancing like it's a metal show. But screaming Raspberry Beret and like moshing at Blues Traveler, singing every word.
But we've told that story on here before, right?
Yeah, I think so.
John Popper acknowledged us. starting a circle pit.
On the New Haven green.
Craziest thing that's ever happened to him besides having a heart attack while jerking off.
Is that true? Is that fucking true?
That's 100% true. Yeah.
It sucks. Like, you already feel so, like, nasty about yourself when you're jerking off as a man, and then to also have a fucking heart attack because you're like
the ultimate post-nut clarity. Like I have to get in shape. Like usually when you have post-nut clarity, it's just like I look at weird porn. But to have to like have that like deep self-reflection.
right. It's like the deepest,
the ultimate.
I have to fucking change my entire life now. I'm gonna fucking die.
Like honestly, you can't have much more post-nut clarity than that.
Oh my god, it's fucking amazing. Oh boy. Well, while these kids are partying, they also are still talking about Jennifer as if like I would even give a fuck about her. Like I'd be like over it, but they're at the disco. Jennifer's not there, and fucking Sandra's like, "Thank God that fucking bitch Jennifer's not here."
Sean, that is Buzz. I'm sorry to break it. And if Buzz is listening to this, I'm sorry to break it to you, but that's honestly happened so many times where it's like somebody said something that was like the most minor inconvenience of all time 16 hours earlier. You'd be at a party and that person's not even around and it'd be like, that fucking idiot said this. And you're like, what? Who gives a fuck?
We're trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
Oh,
trying to get laid. You're fucking talking about this guy?
Oh, man. Well, back at home, the dad does start yelling at Jennifer about her powers, which appears to be all that they fucking talk about. So every time you see them, that's all they're talking about. And we get a very dramatic scene where the dad pulls out 2 giant fucking snakes, waving them around, and that cues the flashback to the snake box as a kid.
Yes.
Which could have been more eventful, but ultimately is not. It's pretty fucking bland. It's a pretty fucking bland flashback, especially knowing now that she like killed somebody. Like I didn't even pick up on that. So,
yes.
Back at school, she decides to tell the entire class about people having the powers to control snakes, and also that God kills kids on purpose. Because the teacher, like, she starts explaining the snake thing, and the teacher's like, yeah, but, like, you know, like, kids have been hurt. And Jennifer's like, yeah, well, you know, if God wants them dead, God wants them dead. The teacher's like, all right, cool.
I love that teacher, because you know he's just like, all you have to do to not be the weird kid is just not say anything fucking weird. Right. She's doing that. And you can just see, like, the grimacing in his face and be like,
like he's trying
give
to
me a fucking break. Right. Throw me a bone.
I'm trying to tell you. I've stuck up for you a dozen times already, and now you pull this shit on me. You're the snake girl. Are you fucking serious right now? And later he has a great. She says something else to him about the snakes later on in the movie, and his response is like, you know, I'm a little concerned that you might believe some of this snake stuff. Oh my god. Well, thankfully the school's full of idiots and everyone just like laughs off the very alarming snake monologue. Everyone's just like, everyone else is like, oh, okay, whatever, Jennifer. So Jennifer decides to join the jocks, which is swimming. She joins the jocks. They're like, hey, swim with us, Jennifer. And they're like super nice to her. And everything's cool until fucking Sandra just grabs her arm. Sandra's outside of the pool, grabs her arm and just holds her underwater. And just starts fucking drowning a human being.
Tries to drown her. And then her friend Jane stops it. Mm-hmm. And Sandra's furious.
Sandra is so mad that she couldn't kill that person. And then Sandra that night sees snakes on her stuff.
Yes.
We should also mention, did we mention, shit. Did we talk about, has it happened yet where Jane is like picked on? Has Jane started getting picked on?
Yeah. That's at the discotheque it starts. Sandra's terrible boyfriend is like calling her lard ass.
Dude, it was so fucking cruel. Like that, Jane takes it worse than fuck. I mean, I should say. They just drowned her.
No, yeah. But no, Jane definitely gets abused.
Jane, I mean, and later on it gets worse. But Jane, they're like, hey, tell that stupid fat ass to wait here. And Jane's literally sitting 3 feet away. And Jane is like not even like I didn't even think anything of Jane until he said that. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, Jane looks fine. Like, what are you talking about?
I agree.
And the rest of the movie, by the way, just to point this out, like everyone refers to her as a fat ass, including like the kitchen help, who like Jennifer's just having a normal conversation with, and then one of the like lunch ladies is like, "Yeah, what about that fat ass Jane?" And you're like, "Wait, what the fuck?" Fucking terrible. Jennifer gets another fucking monologue in the school. It's a lot of snake talk. And I guess that's the one problem with the movie is like the scenes you see are the same scenes you've seen before. Not a lot new transpires, right? It just, the teasing escalates and the dad kind of escalates, but it's all in the same vein of what we've already seen the entire rest of the movie.
Right.
So Jennifer goes swimming. She's going to get changed. She takes a shower. She comes back. None of her clothes are there. These kids also perform the greatest illusion of all time by like throwing their voices around the fucking locker room. And, like a fucking, it is insane. And Jennifer can't find them. She goes
that's honestly like the biggest piece of shit move you could do.
For sure.
That would destroy me.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is, I mean, the drowning on, they turn into like complete psychopaths.
Agreed.
So she goes out to the pool and she sees all of her clothes hanging from the rafters of the gym. So she uses a giant extension ladder to go get them. She's only in a towel. And then it's Sandra's boyfriend, as you mentioned.
Sandra's idiot boyfriend, yeah.
Starts fucking snapping pictures, which causes her to fall.
Which the 70s, it's the 70s camera, so it has the bulb light.
Right.
Fucking nightmare. Like, if you're, like, I'm, like, we were at the cusp, like, grandparents still had those. Like, they were the brightest fucking things you've ever seen.
Oh my God.
And that's what happens. It blinds her. And that's the only nudity that we see in this movie is this poor girl falling from a ladder naked.
Like not wanting to be naked, but is naked. And pictures taken of her. And then they're posted all around school. Like, holy shit. First of all, I mean, that's insane. It's terrible no matter what. But imagine worse than you naked photos being leaked of you is naked photos in like the least appealing thing where you almost fell to your death.
Mid-fall. Yeah.
Right. You must be making the dumbest ass face like as you think you might fucking perish because you awful at it.
Jennifer takes all this shit in stride.
Totally.
I would honestly burn the school to the ground.
Dude, I would too. And I'd be like, take your fucking scholarship and shove it up your ass. Like, her dad must not care. Like, her dad's not fucking thrilled about it. So just fucking leave.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy. Boy.
70s bullies were insane. Like, we're so much, like, in a better spot now.
There's
just, like, normal stuff.
dude. There's a stand-up comedy. It's called The Great Depression by Gary Gulman. He was actually the comedian in the new Joker movie that goes on before him. He's great. He's fucking hilarious. The Great Depression. He does a whole bit on 70s bullies and how fucking insane it was. And he was like, you know what we considered pranks in the 70s was you taking a drink out of a water fountain and them smashing your face into a metal fucking water spigot. And he's like, and that was just considered, fucking silly. Fucking knock your teeth
crazy.
out.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And these girls, they don't stop. They're still trying to run her off. We're getting like scenes of the girls talking, her dad talking bullshit. So she's on the breaking point, right?
Yes.
And one of the most weirdest unnecessary scenes in the movie. We go back to the disco. Jane, who like pays for the attention of boys in this movie, like the hunky boys, like constantly need money, and they'll like flirt with her and be like, "Give me $100," which is insane in the 70s, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's insane now.
insane right now.
Yeah. But guys, I'm sorry for like I keep clearing my throat. I'm sorry. I've been under the weather for a few days. But anyway, so she like has this relationship with them, and like they constantly are like, "Oh my god, Jane wants to actually have sex with you," like that whole fucking thing, which is nuts. Because honestly, Jane seems totally fucking fine. She's constantly just sitting at a table by herself, not being a piece of shit. And they're in an elevator, and fucking Sandra's boyfriend starts like putting the moves on her, and you're like, oh, this is just gonna turn into like a teasing thing or something, you know, like dirt, like, oh my god, can you believe she actually thought I liked her type of thing. But he actually fucking rapes her.
Fucking rape scene. Yeah, it's so uncalled for this plot.
It's so fucking jarring.
It's fucking Jane. Like, I mean, honestly, like those scenes are never like worth it unless it's like the central point, like a revenge film. But like, it would make more sense if it was Jennifer, because she's been the object of the bullying,
right?
But for them to write it in for Jane, what the fuck are you doing?
It is weird as fuck, man. It's so fucking weird. And weirder is he gets off the elevator alone, and then like Sandra's like laughing about it. Like Sandra fucking knows.
Yeah.
Fucking the
psychotic.
It's fucking
these are two of the most psychotic characters in any film we've ever covered.
Absolutely.
I mean that. They're just sociopaths.
Yeah. Yeah. And like the scenes after are heartbreaking with Jane. She calls her mom to be like,
for the payphone, and her mom doesn't believe her.
Her mom's like, shut up and go back to school. And you're like, what the fuck? And then like she tries to tell the staff and no one fucking cares. It's like really fucking heartbreaking.
Crazy backstory that doesn't need to happen in the movie.
Not at all. Not at all. And then Jane, or Jennifer, finds a dead cat in her locker, which happens to be Sandra's cat.
That she bought from her dad's pet store.
That she bought from her dad's pet store. You want to talk about convoluted. And Sandra killed her own cat, put it in Jennifer's locker, I guess to frame her, even though, like, how does that even work? But so Jennifer fucking snaps. Jennifer's done with this shit. And she starts talking to the fucking snakes now. And now calling him her brother. She's like, brother, I need you snake brothers. And she's like, give me the power and the strength. And Jennifer now has like this weird edge to her in school, even to the good teacher, who's like, hey, Jennifer. And she's like, don't call me Jennifer. My real name's Jenny Lou Baylor. He's like, okay. Probably should have told me that at the beginning.
News to me.
You know, you didn't have to, that was your choice. So whatever. And Jennifer and Jane kind of have a weird little pact here. Right? Like a little bit, but like it's still like on edge. Like Jennifer doesn't trust Jane all the way. She thinks Jane's kind of withholding information, but Jennifer's like, what is their plan? What are they going to do to me next? And Jane's like, I don't know. They don't trust me anymore.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a weird dynamic there, especially for the end where whatever. Anyway, but the big plan is the most elaborate plan ever and involves 37 people breaking into Jennifer's house and kidnapping her. Takes 37, dude, literally 6 cars leave the scene of that crime after they kidnap Jennifer. 6 fucking cars of people. Why do you need that many people to kidnap Jennifer?
You don't.
We get to the end, a scene we already talked about at the beginning of the episode. But they go to the parking garage, and and Jennifer brings in all the snakes, standing around, waving her hands in the air, and Sandra's boyfriend is just like driving by her.
She's just been abducted.
She's just been abducted. She's just standing in the middle of the parking garage with her hands up while they menacingly drive very close to her.
I mean, they're going to kill her. That's why they abducted her. That's so fucking crazy. She's done nothing wrong.
That actually is fucking nuts. Like, yeah, they are. Yeah, that is fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. Yeah. But the snakes start attacking everyone and biting everyone there, fucking killing them. Sandra gets away in her vehicle, but is attacked by a giant snake puppet that just starts munching on her, like fucking actually like opening and closing its mouth on her, which, you know, would probably kill her in this universe. But she also hits a fountain, like a water fountain, and flips her car, and then the car fucking explodes.
Correct. Yeah.
And that's the end of all the bullies and Sandra.
Also, snakes don't munch on people.
No. It would be so
you either
hard.
get swallowed or you just get bit.
It'd be so fucking hard to get killed by a snake. I mean, okay, wait, I shouldn't say that. A venomous snake, it'd be pretty easy to be killed by. But like, if we're talking about snakes that just like swallow you, like that's not gonna happen to you. Like, it's just fucking not. But so Sandra's dead. And then we see the next day she's meeting with the dean, who's super pissed and is basically like, Jennifer, I know you fucking did this. And Jennifer is like, basically,
Prove it, you raggedy fuck.
That's like basically what she fucking says, but way longer and way more drawn out than it needs to fucking be. And but yeah, prove it, you raggedy fuck. And she leaves the room. And I think the
Jane is waiting for her.
Well, I think the dean also says something like kind of nasty to her, like you should be dead or something like that. Because Jennifer leaves, the fucking dean opens the drawer to her desk and a snake pops out and kills her too, which is great. And then yeah, she goes outside and Jane's waiting for her, and they have this weird like Mary Tyler Moore like.
Like throw your hat in the air.
Yeah, she like takes off Jane's scarf and like throws it up in the air, and it like end of movie. Like, oh,
I wish they played that
day.
song. I wish they played "We're Gonna Make It" after all.
These two women suffered the worst traumas of their lives at the hands of these maniacs, and they're like, oh, thank God. Oh, yay. I'd be like, I'm gonna fucking go kill myself now. I'm sorry. Like, this life sucks.
See, that's it. Like, we just wrapped up that. Like, it's almost anticlimactic. Like, the snakes show up.
Yeah.
The car blows up. The dean gets eaten. That's it. It ends. It's very quick. I don't know what it is about this movie, man. I fucking like it.
It's not bad. It does a job. It's not 4 stars. It's not 5 stars. 3 stars might even be a stretch. No, 3 stars. 3 stars.
I'm fine with 3.
2.5, 3 stars. It's right there, man. It holds up, and it just does. It does a good job.
That's it. It does its job. Like I don't want to say the characters are likable because they're the most detestable people, but kind of like what we highlighted. You know, there's satisfying parts to it more so than other movies like that.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, you have these extreme villains, and you have like a very likable lead that you're just like kind of rooting for, and I don't know, it just kind of works out. Although you really left open is like her relationship with her father. That's kind of up in the air there, but you know, whatever. For a sequel, for another day.
We should crowdsource it, make our own sequel.
Also call it Ben. Just confuse the shit out of people. And that's Jennifer, guys. Next week, we're going to be doing Black Roses, which I'm very excited about. I think there will be
highly requested.
Oh, one of the top. I'm glad we're getting to a lot of these like super popular movies that people have asked us for forever.
For years, like going back before the hiatus.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So that's that. I'm sorry. I feel like
Hope see ya.
I was honestly trying to wrap it up before I coughed. All right. Shit. We got merch dropping in October. The design is being made right now. I think you're all gonna really like it. We had to do a little bit of an audible. We're doing something a little different. But our friend Sour Eye, who did the Live Laugh Skate shirt, she's coming back. She's helping us out on a last minute design here. So I'm excited, super excited. Yeah. So follow us, facebook.com/IHateHorror, IHateHorror.com. We got a live show September 24th, free for the Patreon Mangle experts, or no, September 25th, I'm sorry, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are doing I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I am so excited. Jack Black.
I cannot wait for Jack Black is in it with dreadlocks.
It looks so stupid. And yeah, so I can't wait. So that's September 24th, 9 p.m. Join patreon.com/IHateHorror. The Mango experts get in for free. If you're part of the other tiers, I forget their names, horror heads and goblins, you get a discount code to different for each tier to help alleviate some of those costs, because you do support us and we appreciate you. So, sure. And then everyone else, head on over to IHateHorror.com, click the live show link, and you'll see the I Still Know What You Did Last Summer option there. You buy tickets that away. And then the Patreon people, just so you know, if you do sign up, we give you access to that like the day of the event. Then you can register for the event through that. And yeah, that's it. Instagram.com/IHateHorror. I think I covered everything. Joe, where can they find you?
Instagram, Boognish1985.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks, Joe, for doing the show with me. And that's a wrap. So, for Joe, this is Sean. Stay weird.
Thank you.
Adios.
I dissect movies all fucking day.
I wanna play.
I'm gonna watch what I'm not supposed to watch.
A fucking zombie getting sliced and diced. The monster.